ओ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ सर्ववेदान्तसिद्धान्तगोचरं तमगोचरं गोविन्दं परमानन्दं सद्गुरुं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्। ओके, अत्र अनात्मनि अहमिति मतिः। श्लोक नंबर 39। अत्र अनात्मनि
अत्र अनात्मनि
अहमिति मतिः
अगमिति मतिः
बन्धः एषोऽस्य पुंसः
बन्ध येषोऽस्य पुंसका
प्राप्तो ज्ञानात्
प्राप्तो ज्ञानात्
जनन मरण
जनन मरण
क्लेश संपात हेतुः
क्लेश संपाद हेतुः
येनैवायं वपुः
येनैव वायं बहुतु
इदम् असत्
इदम् असत्
सत्यमिति
सत्यमिति
आत्मबुद्ध्या
आत्मबुद्ध्यां
पुष्यति
पुष्यति
उक्षति
रुक्षति
अवति
अवति
विषयैः
विषयैः
तन्तुभिः कोशकृद्वत्
तन्तुपित्कोशकृवत्
अखण्डनित्याद्वयबोधशक्त्या
अगण्डनित्या विदभोगशक्त्या
पुरन्तमात्मानम्
पुरन्त आत्मानम्
अनन्तवैभवम्
अनन्तवैभवम्
समावृणोति
समप्रबोधि
आवृतिशक्तिरेषा
आवृतिशक्तिरेषा
तमोमयी
तमोमयीः
राहुः
राहुः
इवार्कबिम्बम्
इव कवित्तम्
तिरोभूते
तिरोबोधे
पात्मनि
प्रात्मी
अमलतरतेजोवती
अमलतरतेजो विधि
पुमान्
पुमान्
अनात्मानं
अनात्मानं
मोहात्
मोहात्
अहमिति शरीरं
अगमिति शरीरं
कलयति।
कलयति
ततः
ततः
कामः क्रोध
कामक्रोध
प्रभृतिभिः
प्रति प्रतिभिरी
अमुम्
अमुं
बन्धनगुणैः
बन्धनगुणैः
परं विक्षेपाख्या
परं विक्षेपकक्ष्या
रजसः
रजसः
पुरुषक्तिः
पुरुषक्तिः
व्यथयति
यतयति
एताभ्यामेव
एतद्भावेव
शक्तिभ्यां
तत्विद्यां
बन्धः
बन्धः
पुंसः समागतः
पुंसशमगः
याभ्यां
याभ्यां
विमोहितो देहं
विमोचिते देहं
मत्वात्मानं
मत्वात्मानं
प्रमथ्ययम्
प्रमथ्ययम्
बीजम्.
बीजम्.
Okay, we'll pause here. We'll just summarize. Then
Okay,
continue.
thank you, Pooja.
So last three shlokas, starting from Akhanda Nityadvaya, Bodha Shaktya. The question of katham eshaha agataha. That was the student's question. Ko nama bandhaha katham esha agataha. That bandha was described earlier. Where was it described? It was described in yeah, that previous shloka. Atra anatmani ahamiti matihi. In anatma, if I have the idea that it is atma, then that itself is bandhaha, he said. And then from this shloka onwards, Akhanda, he is talking about katham esha agata. How did that bandha come about? Who is the mischief maker? Like that he was asking. What is the causes? Or what is or what are the causes? So there he introduced Maya. Maya Shakti. So he said this Maya Shakti has Avriti Shakti or Avarana Shakti, okay, which is now shloka 40 and 41 is Vikshepa Shakti. These two Shaktis, these two Shaktis, which are manifestations of what is called Maya Shakti, are responsible. One does the job of covering the reality from me, and covering the reality itself cannot cause a problem. That's why they say ignorance is bliss sometimes. Itself need not cause a problem. But the minute I take it as something else and then respond to it, that response is called saMsAra. So that is what he said in the shloka number 41. 42 is summarizing. Etabhyam Shaktibhyam. So from these two Shaktis, Shaktihi or Shaktis, Bandhaha Pumsaha Samagataha. We saw that last time. And because this is the way our Shastram diagnoses our problem, we have to resort to the Shastram. You can't go and ask science, how do I remove Maya? You can't say. Maya itself is to be understood, and then Maya can be removed. Removed means effect of Maya can be removed. That's the idea. And therefore, that Veda Shastram eva pramanam for all this. And thankfully, the pramanam is in the form of words which can be understood by us, and it can be unlocked by our teachers and then understood, and that understanding itself reveals the truth of the entire jagat, truth of myself also along the way. And therefore, and that is what is termed as vimokshaha by the student. Mokshaha, vimokshaha. All right, having said that, now Shankaracharya will take up the next topic. Ko nama bandhaha kathamesha agataha katham pratiShThA. The third question of the student. Katham pratiShThA asya. Asya bandhaha katham pratiShThA. How this bandha became eternal. It is coming along with me and it's not doesn't leave me. Why? Why is it like that? Why some problem is there? Problem should go away. No, they say just wait it out. Time is the greatest healer and all they say. So why time doesn't heal my bandha also? It should heal, no? So why pratiShThA? Interesting question by the student. And so that we're going to chant now. What Shankara is going to say, we're going to see now. biijaM, next one. biijaM saMsRRitibhuumijasya tu.
बीजं भूमिजस्य तु.
Just a caution, it is not smriti,
Yes,
samsrit.
संस्मृति भूमि. बीजं संस्मृति तु.
tamo dehaatmadhiira Nkuro.
तमो देहात्मधीरं कुरः.
raagaH pallavamambu tu.
रागः पल्लवमम्बु कर्म तु.
vapuH skandho'savaH shaakhikaaH.
vapuः skandho'savaH shaakhikaaH.
agraaNiindrisaMhatishcha.
agraaNiindrisaMhatishcha.
viShayaaH puSpaaNi duHkhaM phalaM.
viShayaaH puSpaaNi duHkhaM phalaM.
naanaakarmasamudbhavaM.
naanaakarmasamudbhavaM.
bahuvidhaM.
bahuvidhaM.
bhoktaatra jiivaH khagaH.
bhoktaatra jiivaH.
Yeah. So what we should do here is, before I continue, yeah, put a comma. I'm going to ask you to put several commas. Put some commas. Start with after tamo, put a comma there. Then after Ankuraha, put a comma. Every two words. raagaH pallavam. Correct. Pallavam, put a comma. After pallavam. Ambu karmatu, comma. Comma after two. Then vapuH skandaha. After skanda, you put a comma. Then asavaH shaakhikaaH. ShaakhikaaH, a comma. Then agraaNiindrisaMhatishcha. Yeah, you have to put a comma after saMsRRitibhuumijasya. Or saMsRRitibhuumijasya is also fine. Then viShayaaH puShpaaNi. Comma after puShpaaNi. And then duHkhaM phalaM. After phalaM, you want to put a comma. Then after bahuvidhaM, you put a comma. Then after khagaH, last word. Comma is implied. Bhoktaatra jiivaH khagaH. So you must have guessed already that Shankaracharya is giving a description of the samsara, of our life, in the form of a tree. And he is describing, he is associating various parts of the tree with our own lives. Okay, this is, suddenly your mind should go to urdhvamulamadash ashvattam prahuravyayam, like that. So there, he simply says inverted tree and then he moves on, Sri Krishna. But here every part of the tree is very vividly described. Okay, so that we are going to see in this shloka. All right. So this idea of our samsara being a tree is popular. Urdhvamulam avakshakaha, Kathopanishad. So Krishna borrows from Kathopanishad. Don't forget that. Okay, so like this tree keeps coming periodically. And the tree, you can't find the cause of the tree. What is the definite, at what time did the tree originate? If you say, you can't. Because the tree was caused by the seed was caused by another tree, and so on and so forth. You keep going back. You can't find the cause of it. You can't. So that is exactly the status of the jiva also. When did I get bound? Okay, like that, if you ask, you won't have an answer to that. When question, you will not have an answer. So this maximum the teacher can say initially, haven't you heard of samsara chakram? Show me the starting point of the circle, of this wheel. Then I'll show you the starting point of your life. Like that, the teacher can say. Okay, so that's the idea here. And so that's why that what did he say? Ajnana yogat paramatmanastava. Diagnosis of the problem. Shloka number 24. Just one question, one shloka before the student's question. Diagnosis was stated. Ajnana yogat paramatmanastava, etc. Jnanatma bandhas tata eva saMsRRitibuumijasya. So ajnana. Because of ajnanam, he said. Then when did ajnanam start? Ajnanam can't start. Because if it were to have started, then before ajnanam, jnanam should have been there. But jnanam can never be followed by ajnanam. Therefore, this is anadi kalat pravrittaha. And so the number of lives is just too many going back. Too many also is not a word. Infinite. And how did I get karma? In order to get my karma, I must have had free will. And if the animal life, past life, animal life could not have created this body. No, it could not have. Why? Because that did not create any karma. No free will is there for the animal. Only a past life, which is like a human life, which has free will. That's it. That free will is what can create karma. And so many janmas of human lives also we've had. So the human life is not new to us. For the jiva, it is not new to us. And so that kind of a life keeps going on and on. And so that is aptly described by a tree. And this tree, even though the tree perishes, it does not leave the jagat without producing seeds and seeds and seeds. Okay. And so this samsara vriksha is self-perpetuating. There is no end to it. Which is all right. Nothing right or wrong about it. That is the way it is. And so now Shankaracharya is going to tell us 10 things that are common between this tree that we are all familiar with and our own life, which also we are familiar with. Okay. He's making the connections. So let's see what that is. And he's saying, biijaM saMsRRitibhuumijasya is, this is not a one factor, one of the 10, this is not. He's saying, saMsRRitibhuumija. Bhumi is bhumi, earth. Bhumija. Okay, bhumehe jayate iti bhumijaha. Bhumijaha means that which is born of the earth, referring to the tree. Bhumija means vrikshaha. So bhumijasya, you can say vrikshasya. Vrikshasya, of the tree, which is saMsRRiti. This saMsRRiti means saMsAra. Clean, same, so different word, same meaning, different word in Sanskrit. Two different pratyayas, that's all. saMsRRiti is equal to saMsAra. So saMsAra vrikshasya is the meaning of saMsRRitibhuumijasya. idam samsara vriksha, asya samsara vrikshasya, of this tree. What is the seed of the tree? He's going to say. So the first comparison is biijaM to tamaha. biijaM to tamaha. biijaM. What is the seed of this tree? Seed of the physical tree, I know. That is what I call seed. I have this badam seed is there, and this white pumpkin seed is there, and so many seeds. So seeds and seeds and seeds, too many. And the seed of this samsara vriksha, which is also a type of tree, is tamaha. Tamaha. Okay, that we are very familiar with. And so Swami says only difference between the seed of the tree and this tamaha seed is for the tree the seed is produced every time a tree produces the seed, but here seed is not produced. It is always there. It is there in the past, from the past time immemorial onwards. Time immemorial, I don't know what it means, but for us anadikalat pravrittaha, it is all there. And so that is a tamaha. We all know that very well. And all right, then second pair, look at this. Dehaatmadhiira Nkuraha. So this also Shankaracharya had mentioned some time ago. Ankura, since the minute the seed is there, the seed starts to sprout. Just something has just come out of the mud of the earth, and that came out. That period, that is called Ankuraha. Ankura, that particular thing, which still has no shoots, nothing. It is just a stem, small thin stem has come out. That is called Ankuraha. Shoot, you can say. Um, no, not even shoot. Sorry, shoot is not the word. Sprout is the right word, I think. Sprout. That's all it is. Ankuraha. So, what is the sprout? Sprout is dehaatmadhiira. Dehaatmadhiira. So, dhi means buddhi. Dehatma buddhihi. Dehabhimanaha. We saw that earlier. Shankara had already mentioned in shloka number 39. Atra anatmani ahamiti matihi bandhaha. Anatmani ahamiti matihi. So the idea is body being Atma, that Deha Abhimana, that is called the shoot, he says. I mean, that is called the sprout, he says. And so it's a notion. It's a notion, it's an idea, deeply entrenched idea, deeply entrenched notion. And that sprout is now going to just become bigger and bigger and bigger. So that Deha Abhimana is there. So for a jnani, what happens? Deha is there, no doubt. Without deha, there is no jnanam possible. Without mind, no jnanam is possible. But the aham, abhimana is gone. Gone means what? Abhasa abhimana is there. Gone means the reality that I am this body alone. That idea is gone. Body is an upadhi. Now it's very clear for the jnani. And so, for that person, is different. But here, the sprout is the dehatmadhihi. This idea that I am as good as my body. That idea itself, it's an important idea. And so that is what is the sprout. Then he says raagaH pallavam. Pallavam, the sprout comes and immediately you start seeing two leaves. Two leaves. Why not one leaf? Why only two? Why two? I don't know. That is some science is there. But leaves, the sudden greenery comes. And it's the beginnings of a foliage. And so here he's saying pallavam. So you can say shoot. Tender leaves, Swamiji says. Tender leaves. Okay, because leaf means it may be a full-fledged leaf of a tree, you know. So we'll call it tender leaves here, or shoots after the sprouting stage. So once I have this aham abhimana, atmani, dehaabhimana is there, then as long as I am unaware, I'm a baby, child and all, just joy, joy, joy throughout. Why the joy is coming? Because I have no idea of the universe, the world, life, nothing is known. Just eat, sleep, play. Correct? Eat, sleep, play. No samsara and all. What samsara you're talking about? And then the child goes on and on. Then life clock keeps on ticking, tuck, 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 tuck. Then this dehabhimana slowly grows. Obviously, actually, child doesn't have dehabhimana. It's not there. They're basic. When there is hunger, then dehabhimana. When there is pain, dehabhimana. Until then, no, nothing. The world is mine, and I'm just on top of the world. Dehabhimana kicks in during painful time. Amma, just cry, and then fever, and then cough and all that. That's when. Then after that, it's forgotten. But then, with time, this apurnatvam becomes clear. Inadequacy, human inadequacy. I am a mortal. Finally, it comes. That idea comes. Oh boy, this is this is not uh, I can't be happy-go-lucky anymore. You know. I can act happy-go-lucky. I can act that I can do, but I'm not really happy-go-lucky, really speaking. And so that apurnatvam is there. And so this, that's it. Ajnanam, kamaha we said earlier. Ajnanam, kamaha, then karma palam like that. That cycle starts. So here it is kamaha, raagaH is kamaha. Same thing. Kamaha for what? Artha, kama, dharma. What else is there? Artha is very important for me. Critical. Security is critical. And so that starts. That cycle begins. And for a child also it is there. Child also. Security. Some children will be secure giving things to others. Some children will be secure keeping things to themselves. This is the only difference. And so Swamiji, Paramarthanandaji has heard the word Barbie doll. Huh? Barbie doll. Barbie doll. So it seems that lady made some lady who invented that. If I remember right. So that child, it seems, has that desire for a Barbie doll, and then later on the Barbie doll desire is gone, but it's replaced by something else. That's all it is. And so that is pallavam. So the shoots, tender leaves are called pallavam, because next varapurudhu, no, the bigger things are going to come. So we can't use up everything. We have to carefully use the words here. And so next is karma tu ambu. Karma tu ambu. Ambu karma tu. All right. Ambu. Ambu. Sambu. Ambuja. There is a word called Ambuja in Sanskrit, which is popular name also in our the southern part, Tamil Nadu. So Ambuja. Ambu means water. So Neera, Neeraja. So what that which is born of Neera, Jalam, Jalaja. So all these words are there. So Ambu also means the same thing. Means lotus. I mean Ambuja is lotus. So Ambu clearly means water. Water. So here, because if you ask people to name one thing that a plant needs for survival, so they will say water, minimum. So we get up every morning and all these tulsi plants are there. We just pour some water. And so that's critical, that's needed. That is the only thing the plant may not get by itself. Otherwise, air and all, everything is available. Oxygen and all available. Sunlight also available. I can't produce sunlight. And so that water, that ambu is what for this human being, just like water nourishes the plant and then the tree, this karma Karma. Karma is what nourishes. Nourishes samsara, obviously. And what a thing it is. See, nobody can remain without doing action. And karma is required. Without karma, food itself is not available. Survival is not possible without karma. Okay? And karma is what defines all of us. And all our resumes are all unique. Because different types of karma, different types of karma, different types of karma. But at the same time, there is similarity in our lives also. Similarity is also there. The growth stages are all similar. Families, everybody has a family is similar. Everything is similar. And so that because dehaatmadhiira is there, then immediately karma has to kick in. That sense of insecurity is there, and so it has to be fulfilled. I can't simply keep quiet. I can't say I am happy being sad. It's not possible. I am happy being what I am. I can't simply say like that. And so it's that's why this being in touch with our shastram is such an important thing. But it's not difficult to understand these things. And so karma is ambu. So basic activities we do, and then for a profession we need to expand our the domain of activities to profession, to a job. I have to do something. I have to be good at something, and to be good at something, I have to go to school and college and so forth, get degrees. And so this is a well defined journey that we are all going through in our lives. Not knowing really what the end is. That's the thing. Nothing wrong in doing what we are doing, but not knowing what the end is. That is the catch. And we can all say, okay, I'm happy, my family is happy, people say, and then things are working out well. And then after that, we just go. And some people go graciously, some people go with a lot of anxiety. I suppose that's the only difference that is there. But then other Janma is waiting. And so here, uh, Swamiji says, Paramarthanandaji, Kama, raagaH is karma, and before that, Kama. Kama means comma, it seems. COMMA. It's all comma. There's no full stop to be found anywhere, it seems. It's all comma only. Okay. And so therefore, one squanders health initially to get wealth, and then later on, one has to squander that wealth in order to get the wealth, get the health. And it may be a bit late for that sometimes. And so this is our karma. This is what karma does to us. And then look at this. vapuH skandhaha. vapuH skandhaha. Yeah. So vapuH is, know what it is. vapuH means body. Literally means body. Dehaha. Shariram. vapuH. We saw the word vapuH just earlier also. We saw it here. Where did we see it just now? Gadarke. Number 39. Atra anatmani ahamiti mati. Look at that. Third quarter. Ye naivayam vapuridamasat. Vapu. So, idam asat vapu. This body which is asat, which is mithya, I take it as satyam. Okay, like that Shankara had said there. So, vapuhu means body. So here vapuH means, okay, the main part of the body, the trunk, this solid mass that I see in front like a pillar, that is the vapuH. Okay, the trunk. So he's saying here, vapuH. So for Sanskrit students, sakaranta napumsakalingam, vapus. So vapuH, vapusi, vapumsi, like manaha, manasi, manamsi, like that it comes. Anyway, that is napumsakam. And skandha. Skandha is the trunk of the tree. Skandha, trunk of the tree. And so he's equating this and that. Obviously, so main trunk of the body and trunk of the tree can be equated. Skandha vapuH. Then asavaH, shaakhikaaH. AsavaH. Savaha is, see, shaakhikaaH. ShaakhikaaH is branches. Branches of, once this tree is growing now, plant is growing branches. So the branches are called shaakhikaaH. And the idea is that a tree cannot survive without its branches. Roots are of course there, but the branches is what is going to bring all the, later on he's going to talk, all the sunlight and the nourishment from sunlight and all is going to come from the leaves which are all there in the branches. Only then the tree can survive. So the stem is there to support all these things which are required for its own support. And so here these branches are equated to asavaH, asuhu, asuhu. भूःपादौ यस्य नाभिर्वियदसुरनिल Chandrasuryau cha netre. The word asu is hidden right there in the shloka. Bhuf padav. So Vishnu is imagined as Bhuf padav. So this bhumi is the feet of Vishnu. Bhuf padav. Yasya nabihi. So yasya nabihi. So his nabi, yasya nabihi. Viyat. Viyat means akasha, space. So nabi is space. Space is nabi of Vishnu. Feet. Yasya nabir viyad asura nilas chandra. Asura nilas chandra. That asura comes. It's really not asura there. It is asuhu. Asuhu then anila. Asuhu anila becomes asura anila. So there is no asura there. So asuhu and anila. So that asuhu. Prana. Pranaha is asuhu. And this wind. Anila is wind, you know. So asuhu anila there. Same thing here also. Pranaha. So the wind is the prana Vishnu because it's moving. It's required, very critical for survival of human beings, wind. And so our air, you can say. Anila is air. So that is a prana. So Asura Anilas, Asura Anilas, Chandrasu, another? I'm forgetting. Bhuf Padav Yasyana Bir Asura Nilas Chandrasurya Uchanetre. If you stop somewhere, the train will just stop. It won't pick up. Chandra Surya Uchanetre, etc. You know all that. So, that same asu here in plural is asavaH, like guruhu, guravaha, like that. So, prana. The branches of the tree are the prana, are symbolized. That symbolizes the prana of the human being. All the pancha pranaha of the human being. So we say, so prana is swaha, prana. So that respiration. Apanaya swaha, excretion. Like that we give some names. But prana shakti. Okay, respiration means, okay, the biology talks about respiration, respiratory system is all there. But our idea of prana shakti is more subtle than all that. It is not simply, it is manifest as respiration. I can see the lungs and all this air, the, not esophagus, it's called, I'm forgetting all these things. The windpipe is there and everything is going on, right? So that is how we think of it. But then oxygen goes all over. That is the respiratory system. It's going to every blood molecule has oxygen in it and it's carrying. Hemoglobin is such a thing. It has to carry, somebody has to carry the oxygen and release it. What a thing it is, And so there must be balloons inside the hemo. That's how I used to imagine. There must be balloons which are constantly contracting and doing like this. And so this whole process, that is what our people have talked about nadis. Nadi. This nadi is this only. Nadi is the crores and lakhs and lots of nadis are there. Shakti. And blood vessels. Blood vessel is the biological, the vessel through which blood flows. But here Nadi, Shakti. Shakti flows in other ways also. That vessel through which the Shakti flows is called a Nadi. That's what it is. And so, therefore, the shaakhikaaH, these are all like branches, branches. The Nadi. So prana flows through the Nadi, and therefore those branches of the tree are symbolizing the Nadis in the human body. The pranas, the Nadis through which the prana is flowing in the human body. That's the idea here. And so if the Nadis don't function properly, obviously we're going to have all kinds of ailments. So they have their own way of analyzing human well-being, and they are treating human well-being and all that. And so, very interesting how different native cultures have come up with their own ways, science of medicine, medicinal science. And so, that is asavaH, pranaha, shaakhikaaH. The branches are symbolizing this one, our human pranaha. All right. agraaNiindrisaMhatishcha. agraaNiindrisaMhatihi. Agrani. Agrani means the, the tips of the branches. Tips of the branches. Because they are the ones that are facing the atmosphere. They are the ones that are facing the sun. Sunlight is really falling only on the periphery of the tree. Inside the tree, there is no sunlight. So the tips of the trees are very critical for the tree. And so they are the ones that are observing. They are the key people. They are the people. They're like this, our security people who are in the borders and all, everywhere. They are protecting the country. So like that, these are the ones that are really facing the outside world. Sometimes we tell our children, you don't know the outside world at all. You have to go out there, and all they say. You have to go out there. And sometimes parents don't like it at all. I want my child to be here only, in college here only, in this city, right neighbor, next door, etc. So okay, there's a reason for that also. But these are all called agrani. Agra means forward, beginning, agre. So that agrani. Indriya samhati. So body, what is it in the body? The body, it's a samhati means group. Indriya samoha, the group of sense organs. Shrotram chakshusprshanam cha rasanam granam cha. Just all the 5 sense organs. Agrani. Okay, so they are the ones that are that are in touch with all the stimuli that are there out there. Sunlight is there, and the tree responds to the sunlight. Like the eyes are there, eyes respond to light and heat and everything, and then light is needed to recognize forms and whatnot. And so that agrani, periphery, the periphery of the tree is no different than our sense organs, because our sense organs are also in our periphery only. It has to be the outer part. It can't be hidden somewhere inside. It has to be outside. Skin is of course outside, eyes are outside, nose is outside, everything is outside. And so, agrani indriya samhatihi. Then, number 8, viShayaaH puShpaaNi. viShayaaH, not difficult to imagine all these things. viShayaaH puShpaaNi. All right, puShpaaNi, flowers. Flowers are there. And it seems the flowers are the objects. Okay. See, flowers are the objects. Means what? Flowers are attractive. So, because finally what he's going to say, the jiva is not the tree. The jiva is the bird that is coming to the tree. He's going to say that. You think this tree is the jiva and all? No. This whole ecosystem you have to imagine. It's not just one tree. Tree is enough, samsara. But so because the flowers are attractive and the birds are going to come, and so that is called viShayaaH. viShayaaH are attractive, Attractive means not attractive also comes along with attraction. So viShayaaH. All right. So now we have to ask, what is the Vishaya of Shrotram? Where do you go? Where do you get the Vishaya of Shrotram? Which text will you go to?
Tattvabodha.
Tattvabodha.
Tattvabodha. Shrotrasya kaha Vishayah, Shrostrasya Vishayo, Shabdagrahanam. Shabdagrahanam, grasping sounds. That is the Vishaya. Okay. Shrotram chakshusho Vishayah, Rupagrahanam. Tattvabodhakara says all that. Tvacho Vishayaha, the Vishaya, the object, the domain, let's say, domain of the skin, sense organs of touch, is what? Sparshagrahanam. Tvacho Vishayo Sparshagrahanam. All said by Tattvabodhakara. Then what? Rasanam Grahanam Evacha. Sir, Rasanayaha Vishayaha, Rasagrahanam. And Granasya Vishayaha, Gandhagrahanam. All that he said. So we know Vishaya means you just go back to that text and bring all the Vishayas in. Those are the Vishayas. But Indriyani here is not simply Pancha Jnanendriyani. Pancha Karmendriyani also have to be brought in. Vak Panipadam Payu Upasthani Pancha Karmendriyani. All right. Vak means what? Speech. The organ of speech is the first Karmendriyam, organ of action. And so, Vacho Vishayaha. What is the Vishaya of this organ of speaking? Vacho Vishayaha. He says, Bhashanam. Vacho Vishayaha, Bhashanam. That's why we love Bhashanam, I think. All of us love to give Bhashanam. And so we have to tell people, slow down, means I got it. I mean, I did not ask. I asked you for advice, but not a lecture. Sometimes without asking for advice also we hear Bhashanam. Okay, why? Because Vacho Vishayo Bhashanam. That's why. And then what? Panyoho Vishayam. What is the Vishaya of these two hands? Pani. Pandyoho Vishayam. Vastu Grahanam. Grasping things. That is the purpose of the hands. Then what? Padayoho Vishayaha. The object, the domain of the feet, 2 feet. Pada, guess what it is?
Balance.
What he could
To balance.
to balance. Okay, all right. Balance is a good one.
Gamanam.
Gamanam.
Brahmanam.
Gamanam. Finally, Gamanam. Yeah, balance is required, of course. You have to go beyond balance and then Gamanam. All right. So, Padayoho Vishayo Gamanam. 1 minute. Then Payu means organ of excretion. Okay, Payu. So, Payoho Vishayam. Malatyagaha, he says. Malatyagaha. So, excretion, literally. The rejection of waste matter. Malatyagaha. And then Upasthasya Vishayaha means the organ of procreation. He says Anandaha iti. Like that he says. So, that is the Pancha Indriyani, Dasha Indriyani and Dasha Vishayaha. Tesham Vishayaha. And he says puShpaaNi. The flowers of the trees are these the domain of the 10 organs of senses and action. Flowers. And the idea here is this: the what is sense organs? Agrani, the periphery of the tree, and the flowers are always in contact, constant contact. Of course, flower is hanging from the tree only, therefore it is in constant contact. So, sense organs also constantly in contact. Never away. Never away. Never away. Somebody was saying yesterday that, the other day, the person is active, is young, teenager, active, and doing so many things. Suddenly, some injury is there. Some injury. And the guy is immobilized. He can't, doctor said for the next 2 weeks, you can't leave home. And that's it. The mind goes crazy. Because he's a teenager and his job is to just go around, make calls, talk to people, go to college, go to friends, do this, sports activity, this and that. And suddenly you make the fellow sit at home and this guy starts talking also nonsense. And he starts imagining things like a drunkard because mind needs something. You have to say something at least. And so that is how it is. So viShayaaH, puShpaaNi, constant contact. Like our constant contact, They have some software called constant contact. Anyway, that is different. But so Vishayas are there. Let them be. The Vishayas are called Padarthas. Things, Padarthas. Padam means, why it's called Padartha? Padam means a word. Padasya arthaha. That which represents or that which is represented by the word is called Padartha. Correct? That object. If you say pot, P-O-T is an English word, 3-letter English word. Pot. Just a word, that's all it is. But words, that padasya arthaha here means not meaning. Okay, arthaha is meaning. And this fellow also is called arthaha only, an object. Vastu. So padasya vastu, that which is represented by the word pot is padartha. So padartha, all Vishayas are padarthas. Vishayas and Vishayas, many are there. And then padarthas, things are all padarthas only, but it becomes a Vishaya. A padartha will become a Vishaya if I develop a like or a dislike on a vastu. So this human being has the capacity to convert a padartha into Vishaya. Vishinoti badnati iti Vishayaha. The meaning of the word Vishaya itself is very scary. I'm telling you. The first time I heard it, I was scared. Vishinoti badnati iti Vishaya. Means because it binds, it's called a Vishaya, it seems. What is this? The way they are thinking like this? How can you just not be attracted to this kind of thinking? Vishinoti badnati iti Vishaya. One
Jaykumarji,
Swami.
can you repeat that one more time? How does the Padartha become a Vishaya again?
Padarthas are all there. The Ishvara Srishti is all there for everybody to enjoy, everybody to use, whatever. But the minute I have raga and dvesha, raga or dvesha, or a combination of both, then what happens? Then it's no longer a padartha. It becomes a vishayaha.
Then it becomes Visha also.
Vishayaha. Vishinoti badnati. Badnati binds. Like also binds me. Dislike also binds me. Okay. So
Vishinoti, what does it mean, Guruji?
Badnati.
Vishinoti.
Badnati.
Vishinoti is also Badnati.
Badnati.
Binds.
Binds. Badnati. So, another meaning for Vishaya is this. Badnati means what? It's how knowledge of the object takes place. If you are listening to me, suddenly I show you this pot. What happened in the mind? Well, pot vritti has taken place. What happened? The mind has taken now a form of a pot. Only then you can see a pot. Otherwise, you can't see a pot. Pot images happened. Okay, that is binding. Means what? Your mind has taken a shape, finite shape. It's actually infinite, but suddenly it takes on a finite shape. It's bound. So the thought itself is a form of binding. And so that also is called Vishaya. That image of the pot in my mind is also Vishaya. And the fact that the object no longer is a, there's a word for, I'm looking for, non-committal. It means a lot to me. When I see an object, then I'll say, my son, my son. Person wants to be free, I am free, but I won't allow this person to be free. Why? Because my son means it's good, it's your son, but let him be free. He's born to be free anyway. So who am I to hold him up? Be free. I'm always there to help you. Arey wah, kya baat hai? I'm there to help you. Then he'll call you, Mom, what about this? What about that? Good. Then you feel proud. Son is calling me. So that's the way to be. So anyway, so that is the conversion of padartha to vishayaaha. And then number 9. I think this is number 9. Okay. duHkhaM phalaM. duHkhaM phalaM. The first time you look at it and say, oh, Shankara is so pessimistic. Hey, phalam, sukham is also phalam only. How can he say dukham is phalam? That's not fair at all. Our Acharyas give some explanation to all this. I saw it yesterday, I was looking at it. Anyway, I'll tell you what it is. So, no, it's not like that. Sukham is also phalam, no doubt. But then, when I'm happy, what am I thinking about? I'm thinking about how to prevent dukham, it seems. My whole day, I'm happy, all right, but next, how do I protect myself for tomorrow? I'm thinking about it. Therefore, I'm constantly, my mind is riveted on dukham. That is why I can never really say I'm happy, means always there is a doubt. Am I really happy? There's a doubt. After a fraction of a second only, I say, yeah, I'm happy. So that doubt is always there. So that's why dukham phalam. And see, पूर्वं कर्मशब्देन पुण्य अपुण्य रूपस्य कर्मणः उक्तत्वात्. Karma was talked about previously, it seems. Karma was said. So jalam, karma was said. And that karma, the ability to do karma itself is due to sukha. Punyam only it is. Only punyam can give a human life. And without punyam, there is no human life possible. There is no free will possible. So karma itself, free will. Free will itself means it is punyam, which is sukham. So sukham was already talked about. By the way, guys, he is saying. Who's saying? Chandrasekhara Bharati Mahaswami is saying, Punyam was already talked about. You simply passed away. Like you kept on brooding about the future. You didn't understand what karma is. Karma implies punyam. To human birth, karma is punyam. Uktatvat tathapi. Still, Vaishayika Sukhamapi Dukkamityeva Pariganyate Vivekibihi. Hey, this sukham that you are talking about is Vishaya Sukham. It is sukham that you get from something. This is all dependent sukham it is. Hey, dependent sukham is as good as dukham. This is what Viveki Bihi Pariganyate. This is what is the ascertained view of people who know what is what. That is what Swamiji's commentary is saying. Tika. Okay. And Swamiji is quoting one Bhagavad Gita shloka also. Yehi samsparshaja bhogaha dukkha yonaya evate adyantavantah kaunteya nateshu ramate bhutaha. Shloka number 22, 5.22. Samsparshaja, look at that. The sparshajaha, that which is born of the contact between the sense organs and sense objects. Bhogaha. Yehi samsparshaja bhogaha. What about them? Dukkha yonaya evate. They seem to give me joy, but there is a yoni, there is a seed of sorrow waiting there. You scratch it a little bit and it becomes sorrow. Dukkha yonaya evate. Why? Adyantavantah kaunteya. Because they have a beginning and an end. If I say I'm happy, means I must have become happy sometime. Okay. And then became happy. Adi. Then after some time, anta will also be there for every experience. That is the definition of an experience anyway. That which begins and ends is an experience. And so adyantavantah, adi, anta, that which has adi and anta. Okay, therefore, that's why dukham also. They say this too shall pass, they will say. This too shall pass. Means okay, just put up with it for a while. It will go away. Don't worry. We're all there with you. Okay, so let it pass. Adyantavantah kaunteya na teshu ramate buddha. Buddha. Here Vivekachoodamani Swamiji is saying, Buddha, wise people don't pay too much attention to that. They will just use what is available and don't spend much time on seeking ananda from things and things and things. Okay? Like that, Swamiji helps us understand this dukham phalam. Okay. Vishaya Indriya Sambandha Anantaram Anantara Kalikatvat. Phalam. So fruit of the tree, flowers over. Then fruits of the tree. The fruits of the tree is symbolizing my own experience of dukham, saMsAra dukham. Why? Because it happens after Vishaya Indriya Sambandha Anantaram. So after the contact between the sense organs and sense objects. Sense objects are what? Flowers are the sense objects, correct? And he says, after the contact only dukham will come. Yehi saMsRRitibhuumijasya bhoktaatra. After that only dukham. After I operate my sense organs, only then dukham is going to come. And exactly why in tree also it happens like that. First flowers come, then only fruit comes, it seems. Swamiji is helping us understand. And so that is why first contact, which is the Vishayas, the agraaNi, the tips of the trees are all in contact with the flowers. That is the contact. And once the contact is made, the fruit comes later on only. Fruit comes after the flower, And so he gives that reasoning. And that is why this phalaM is called dukham. Like that he says. Very interesting logic. Shakhagreshu pushpa utpatti anantaram hi phalam jayate. After flowers are born only, the fruit comes. Like that he says. So that means what? Shankaracharya is not randomly saying things. Chumma edavadhu sollu. Chumma business doesn't work for all these acharyas. This imagery itself, there is so much significance. All right. And then this dukham is further categorized in the next two words. NaanaakarmasamudbhavaM bahuvidhaM. duHkhaM phalaM. So all that go together with dukham and phalaM. bahuvidhaM dukham. Dukham is many ways. Om Shanti 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 we say. Why? Because there are three types of dukham for me. What are the three types of dukham? This Adi Adhyatmika dukham, Adi Bhautika dukham, and Adi Devika dukham is there. That's it. The entire world of dukkha is categorized into three. It's called tapatrayam. Tapatrayam, Sa Adi Devika dukham, things over which I have no control over. Like COVID, no control. Suppose I ask you, COVID, is it Devika tapam or is it Bhautika tapam created by people around us? If you say, that's a tough one. Some people may argue it's all created in one country near India. Like that, people might say. All right, still, the way it spreads and the way it just brings the entire world to its knees. Okay, and so Adi Devika tapam, like that we have. So all the Panchabhuta tapam it is called. Vayu, cyclones, tornadoes, Vayu. The Vayu generated tapam. Okay. Agnihi. Agnihi is there. Heat. Just summer heat is enough. We don't have to go to volcanoes and all that. Summer heat is enough to finish off people. That's how bad it is in many during some weathers, some hot weather. All right. So that is called Agni born tapam. Then Jalam apaha. That we know tapam. What water can do, we all know. And so floods, etc. Then Bhumi. Bhumi tapam also is there. Earthquakes and all. Bhumi tapam. So that is how they look at our tapam. This is the Adi Devika tapam. Even though I said Panchabhuta, it sounds like Adi
Adi
Bhautika.
Bhautika.
Sounds like it, but it is not it. That's not it. All this, the five I mentioned, four, not Akasha. Four I mentioned is Adi Devika tapam. Devika, because we don't have any control over floods, tornadoes, and all that. What you don't have control is Deva Icha, Ishvara Icha. Okay, but we are attributing to each of the Panchabhutas. But Bhautikam is our surrounding. The problems created in my own surroundings, which I may have some control over. Some control might be there. You can talk to people and say, I'm having a class, you please do it later, after half an hour. Like that, you can have some control. Children are playing. Children go there and play for the next half an hour. Too noisy here. Okay. I'm practicing music. So some control you might have. But that Bhautika Tapa is there. All the problems, pollution, everything. Pollution, if you ask me, do you have control or not, means what? Yeah, we have some control. So we are making vehicles which polluted. Then we are deciding, oh my God, pollution, automobile pollution is too much. And so we have to make vehicles which don't pollute. Okay, so we are creating a problem. We are trying to find a solution to the problem. Adi Bhautika Tapam. Adhyatmika Tapam. Adhyatmika. So problems, health onwards, everything is a tapam for each individual. Adhyatmika tapam. And so mind also. Physical health is great, but the mind is running amok. And so that also is a problem. So this is critical. This is called, so therefore that tapatrayam, dukham, bahuvidhaM. That's what I was saying. BahuvidhaM. Many types are there. So body, senses, mind created adhyatma, and so on and so forth. So all that is what we can recall by understanding this word bahuvidhaM. Many types of dukham. And how are they created? NaanaakarmasamudbhavaM. Udbhavam, janyam, jananam, udbhavam, samudbhavam, samajananam, naanaakarma. Each person's karma. Okay, dukkam is created by karma. My own karma is giving me dukkha and sukha. All right. So my own karma means it's unique. Each person's karma is unique. Unique. Nana karma. Each person's karma is unique. Then the family's karma is also unique. Okay. Family's karma is very unique. If one person, the father and mother is successful in business, and then Lakshmi Kataksham will be there for the entire family. Entire family gets to enjoy it. So that is the karma of that family. And they don't have to worry about anything. This tomorrow, money, future, financial is not a thought at all in their minds. Why? Because that is their karma. Family's karma it is. All right. So like that you keep going. Community karma has a special karma. State has a special karma. Each state has a special karma. Tamil Nadu, we have a special karma. We have a special karma to deal with certain things. Certain things, just anti-Hindu things. Only this state, if you want to understand what is anti-Hinduism means, you have to come to this state. Hinduism is also very much alive in this state, by the way. Only in this state you find a lot. Temple culture and all. And that is a mixture. That kind of katta meeta mix will be there, Tamil Nadu, if you want. And then some other place, you'll have floods will be there. Periodically floods. Time comes and then Andhra means cyclone. This Nellore area means cyclone. Cyclone. As a kid going to college and all, I used to remember the train. Floods means floods. That's it. Nothing will bridge or all. Just you can't see anything. A lone tree will be there somewhere. Water everywhere. So that particular city has a karma. State has a karma. Country has its own karma. America has its own karma. And Trump is trying to change the karma also. So it's all, everything is in a state of flux, And so, like that, bahuvidhaM naanaakarmasamudbhavaM. It is all caused by different types of karma, which is all unfolding in front of our eyes. And so that is duHkhaM phalaM, Shankaracharya says. And then what? Bhoktaatra jiivaH khagaH. KhagaH. Bhokta, finally, who is it meant, all this meant for? This thing is meant for the bird that is coming, that is attracted to all the flowers and fruits and then pecking at these things. That is what he's saying. Atra means in this vrikshe, asmin saMsRRitibhuumijasya vrikshe, atra, that is the meaning of atra here. Atra, bhokta is this jiivaH, just being, for whom that life is so important and the life has to be led. If I have the benefit of the Veda, then my desires will be also directed. Nobody can say I don't have any desires. That's not possible. In Vedanta, at least we don't talk about removing desires, killing desires and all that. No, that's all bogus. And Ichha Shakti, Kriya Shakti, Jnana Shakti, Swarupini. And then where is the question of removing desires? Hey, you direct your desires properly. Use the Veda and direct it properly. Okay. Otherwise, I'm going to have some other types of common desires will be there. And so, so that jiivaH is the bhokta, is the enjoyer. This whole tree is meant for this bhokta, meant for this jiva. Bhokta means experiencer. Okay. And that bhokta is khagaH. KhagaH means bird. Bird. Ke gachati iti khagaH. Akash. Akha means akasha, Akasha. Somewhere we saw in Bhagavad Gita. Bhumirapo nalo vayuhu kham mano buddhirevacha ahankara iti yamme bhinna prakritirashthada. Somewhere it comes. It comes in the 7th chapter or something, I think. He's listing the 5 Panchabhutas. Bhumi, starting from earth, he's going from the reverse direction. Bhumirapo analo agni. Bhumirapo nalo vayuhu. Then come, mano, then he goes to mana. Come means akasha. Akasha, he says. So there come, he uses. The same come only. Ke gajjati, the one which moves in the sky is called anything, like a bird, popularly bird. But now aircraft also is moving in the sky, therefore aircraft also can be called khagaH. Bhoktaatra khagaH. Good. So that concludes the description of this saMsRRitibhuumijasya, namely the vriksha, saMsAra vrikshaha, which also is there in the Kathopanishad and which Sri Krishna quotes in the first shloka of the 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Urdhvamulam adashakam ashwatam prahuravyayam. All that we saw. Good. So I'll give you the meaning in the next class. This being the answer or beginning to answer the question of the student, katham pratiShThA. How did this bandha? You explained to me anatma, atma, then bandha also you explained to me. Now tell me why this bandha, how it is sticking with me all the time, how it has been staying with me all these janmas and yugas, etc. That's what he's saying. Yeah, Maheshji.
A quick question, Jagannath. In this comparison, earlier we said dehaatmadhiira Nkuro. There we said body is Nkuro, or right? We said it is body is the sprout. Then we came vapuH skandho'savaH.
No,
That
body
also
level.
is-
Sorry, no, we have to take that back. I
Okay.
didn't say dehaatmadhi, taking the body to be atma. Deham atma iti buddhihi.
Okay.
Dehaatmadhihi. Taking the body, that mistake is the Ankura.
Okay. Thank you.
That is what it is. Yeah. Good. Make a note there. So we'll conclude now, and I have to go after this, so we can keep your questions for the next class, please. Om Apadamapahārtāram Dātāram Sarva Sampadam Lokabhiramam Shriramam Bhuyo Bhuyo Namamyaham Kale Varshatu Parjanyah Prithvi Sasyashalini Deshoyam Kshobarahitah Sajjana Santu Nirbhayaah Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om